Now in this video we are going to be using warm water and mirror. That's the only thing that we need. Now let us start. Set your mirror in a position where you'll be hands free. That is, your two hands will be totally free, because one of your hands will be used to hold the oil and apply the oil on your scalp, while the other hand will be used to massage the oil into your scalp. So this is what I was just doing here, trying to get the perfect position, and I've gotten just that. Now I'm using this Tantua tea tree and jojoba hair and scalp oil. It also has shea butter, so the consistency is a little bit thick, and that is why I needed the warm water in the first place. Please don't mind how the bottle looks. I put it in my microwave and it got disfigured. Now if you have a bottle that has a nozzle, just as this Tantua bottle has, you use the nozzle to dispense the oil on every line of your braids, and then you massage the oil into your scalp. I didn't introduce myself early enough. I am Light. This is my channel, and on this channel we do everything natural hair care, tips, maintenance and styling. So if you want more videos like this, please do subscribe. Thank you. Tea tree oil for scalp. Now I want to add scalp oil to this part of the video because I want to help you make an informed decision with any scalp oil that you might want to purchase or use for your scalp. If you have dandruff, tea tree oil is very good or very essential for you. You just mix it with a carrier oil, and that is because tea tree oil is an essential oil, and you do not use essential oils directly on your scalp. It's going to cause more irritation because they are very highly concentrated. So you mix them with other oils that are called carrier oils. Carrier oils include jojoba oil, olive oil and the rest, but then I prefer jojoba oil because jojoba oil is closest to the body's natural serum. That's the normal oil that your body produces, so it just mimics it and it doesn't make your scalp or your skin or your hair oily. Okay, the next oil that I want to talk about is rosemary oil. Rosemary oil is said to be one of the best oils for hair growth. Rosemary oil does this by increasing blood circulation to the scalp, and there's a research on it that shows that it is as effective as minoxidil. If you do not know minoxidil is a drug that is used for hair loss, and rosemary oil showed that it was as effective as that. The next thing I want to tell you about rosemary oil is that rosemary oil is an essential oil, and you also have to mix it with a carrier oil before applying it on your scalp. Now the carrier oils that go along with rosemary oil are olive oil and coconut oil. The next oil that I'm talking about is peppermint oil, and that is because peppermint oil has the properties of tea tree oil and rosemary oil joined together in a way. So now peppermint oil has anti-inflammatory properties that tea tree oil has, and then it also helps with cell growth that rosemary oil has. So that is more like a combination. Peppermint oil is also an essential oil, and you have to mix it with a carrier oil. So carrier oils that you can use with peppermint oil include jojoba oil and olive oil and coconut oil. Now here I'm done oiling this part of my hair. I had to divide my hair into three because my hair was made in a center parting form, so I divided it into three. That is front left, front right, and then the whole of the back. I decided to hold this other part down without oiling it so that I can show you the back, how you can oil the back of your scalp, because you're not going to be using a mirror for that side. This is the problem with oil that has shea butter in it. The consistency doesn't allow you apply it using a nozzle. So at this point of applying my oil on my scalp, the oil had already solidified and it did not want to come out of the nozzle. But anyway, I actually wanted to pour it on my fingers and then use my fingers to apply to the back, because you cannot use the nozzle. You will not be seeing the lines very effectively, except if you use a mirror in front and a mirror at the back. And I have just one mirror, and I assume that that is exactly what you have in your houses, one mirror. There's this question: how often should you apply oil to your scalp? First of all, you need to apply oil to your scalp, let's say twice a week, and that also depends on if your scalp is dry. Some people have oily scalp while some people have dry scalp. So if your scalp is oily, you can only apply oil to your scalp, let's say once a week. If your scalp is dry, you can attempt 2 to 3 times a week. I hope 2 to 3 times of applying oil to your scalp doesn't sound like too much work. It doesn't take so long. If you notice, I'm trying to make this my video as real time as possible, and I applied this oil on my scalp within 12 minutes. Please, if you're enjoying this video so far, can you hit the like button? And if you have any comments, any questions about any oils or about anything, do well to put it in the comment section, or just give me a thumbs up in the comment section. Thank you. Just a quick info: some people wash out essential oils from their hair, and I don't know why, but I don't do that. I always leave it on my hair. I just make sure that it is diluted and I leave it on my hair. But if you want to, if you have some really serious scalp irritations, you can apply your oil and leave it overnight and wash your hair the next day, or apply your oil and then after 40 minutes or 45 minutes you wash it out. But that does not mean that you apply the essential oils directly to your hair. You must still dilute it. Okay, also don't forget to massage your hair when you're done applying all the oils. It helps with blood circulation. It helps the oil get to every part of your hair, and don't bother about those parts of your hair where the oil couldn't get to. For example, deep or inside the part of your braid where it was held to make your hair, because that part of your hair is going to stay moisturized because it's not exposed to air, it's not exposed to dryness. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Now let's talk about carrier oils. And the first oil that I want to talk about is jojoba oil. That is because jojoba oil is said to be one of the best soothing oils for the scalp. And as I said before, it's just because it is the closest oil to the body's natural sebum. And because it is closest to the body's natural sebum, it can be used for people who have oily scalp and people who have dry scalp. Okay, if you have oily scalp, you should go for lightweight oils such as almond oil, grapeseed oil, and apricot kernel oil. While people who have dry scalp should go for avocado oil, shea butter oil, or coconut oil. Other carrier oils that you can explore include olive oil, argan oil, castor oil, evening primrose oil. You can also moisturize your hair with other things that are not oil, but then it is very important that when you apply those things on your hair, also add oil so that it helps your hair to be better moisturized, longer moisturized, that is long lasting. These other things that I'm talking about, they include aloe vera gel, glycerin, and rose water. I didn't use these things first because I don't have them, but then it doesn't mean I can't tell you because I already know about them. What I did for myself is that after applying the oil on my full scalp, that is oiling my scalp, I now went ahead to use my leave-in conditioner to apply on my scalp and on my hair. So that is, I was just refreshing my braids or my African threading, as the case may be. I'm going to include that part shortly so you just see exactly how I went about that. I forgot to expressly say that you also need rubber bands if you're trying to oil your scalp by yourself, because you will also need to be using rubber bands to hold your hair in partitions or in sections as you're working on the other parts. So here you can see that I held the remaining part of my hair at the back with rubber bands, and I kept on removing the rubber band and bringing out a line to moisturize with the oil and then holding it again with the rubber band until I was done with everything. I'm supposed to be using my applicator bottle at this point because this is the front part and I'll be able to see the lines, But because my shea butter has changed the consistency of my oil, and I don't even have the time to put it back into the warm water and wait for it, I'm just going to be using it like that. So that is why I'm using my fingers for this front part. But then if you're using your applicator bottle, you can use it at this front part. Don't say, okay, because I'm using this, you're going to literally use your fingers also for the front. Okay, it's better to use the applicator bottle. So here I'm done applying the oil to every part of my scalp, and I'm just basically massaging it. Massaging it just helps to get heat around your scalp and helps the oil moisturize your hair or your scalp better. Here you go. I'm done applying the oil on my scalp, and then I went in with this my leave-in conditioner from Bayelsa. I'm not using my normal favorite and Jackie's leave-in conditioner because that one is finished, and I bought this one and I just want to see if it's going to be nice. This is the second time I'm using it, so I'm just basically trying to see if it's a good conditioner for my hair. What I was doing here is just to apply the leave-in conditioner on my hair and then get my fingers through my hair to my scalp. I was also applying this conditioner on the tip of my hair because that part of my hair is the part that needs the most concentration, the most attention. It's just like a baby, right? So that is exactly what I did basically at this point. My friend was around, so I was talking. So if you notice I'm talking, please just ignore it. I was talking to my friend. This is about the 9th day after making this African threading hairstyle, and this is, I think, the 3rd time I'm moisturizing my hair. My hair always gets dry easily, so I always apply leave-in conditioner, let's say every 3 days or at least twice a week. There are even some days that I have to even go almost every day just to make sure that my hair doesn't get to that dry state. After applying this leave-in conditioner on my hair, I started to massage it into my hair because, as you can see, it has white residue on my hair, and that is because the leave-in conditioner has not gotten into my hair yet. And I think that this conditioner doesn't really get into my hair or penetrate into my hair easily or fast. So when you're massaging your hair, it's more like using heat to get your hair to be able to absorb product easily. The next thing I did here was to go in with oil, and I'm using olive oil. I always do the lock method, that is leave-in conditioner first when I'm moisturizing my hair, and secondly to use oil, and thirdly to use cream. That is a cream base, maybe shea butter or any cream that is available for your hair or for hair moisturizing purposes. After making sure that the olive oil went through all my hair, the next thing I did was to go in with shea butter. Shea butter is the butter that I always use for my lock method, that is cream. When it's time to apply cream, I always use shea butter. And what I'm doing here is just to rub my hands together so it can conduct heat and then dilute or melt the shea butter. As you can see here now, the shea butter had already melted. It's not like the solid shea butter how it was when I scooped it from the container. It's now melted like olive oil. So that is exactly what I was just trying to do, just so that it will melt and I'll be able to use small shea butter all around my hair. You don't want to use a lot of shea butter, so that is just that about that. When you're doing the lock method, you use more leave-in conditioner than oil, and then you use more oil than cream. Okay, I don't know if it makes sense. That is as regards quantity. After oiling my scalp and after moisturizing my hair, the next thing I went ahead to do was to style my hair. So now there's a style here, but then I compiled the other styles into a YouTube short, and that's just because I did not want this video to be too long. I feel it's already long. So just go onto my channel and then you'll be able to watch the YouTube short that has all the other styles. You can use it to style your box braids, your crochet braids. It doesn't matter. As far as it's just single strands, just like this, I think it also applies. Okay, Thank you very much for watching. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Help me, let me get to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you very much, and please like if you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment your best part. Don't forget to comment if I tried. Don't forget to tell me well done. Thank you. And beyond that, it helps me get a lot of engagement with my videos, and it helps YouTube recommend my videos. Thank you. All right, have a lovely day, and see you next week, Saturday, 6 p.m.